All right, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach Taylor, and then we will take questions.
Tough overtime loss to a really tough, gritty North Texas team. Really want to tip my hat to Coach Morris and their team. I thought both teams battled for 60 minutes plus overtime, really laid it all on the field. I'm proud of our group. Obviously, we're all disappointed. It's a gut punch to lose there in overtime. But I thought, from a player standpoint and a coach standpoint, we really made this and turned this into the type of game that we wanted it to be. We dictated the tempo early and often in the first half. I thought offense, defense, and special teams, we made this a physical game. I thought there were some really good performances from our players, offense, defense, and special teams. I thought our O-line really improved. We had over 200 yards rushing. Jalen Buckley had a great game. Brock Lowry came in and did some really nice things in the run game and pass game. I thought, Palmer Domsky had a career day. What he did, he gave us a chance to win the game with his leg and field goal kicks. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I thought Rodney McGraw really played well. He had 2.5 sacks, 2.5 TFLs as well. He was really wreaking havoc. And so a lot of hurt players in there, but if we're going to talk about the process and what it takes to win games and not looking at the scoreboard, what I told our players is we had a great week of preparation. We came in and we battled for 4 quarters plus overtime and gave ourselves an opportunity to win the game against a good football team. I'll go to war with that group in there, our players, any day of the week because they laid it on the line. They're hurting right now like we all are, but I am proud of the fight. We will grow and learn and get better from this, and really excited to attack this next week. We'll look in the mirror and see how we can be better as we move forward.
Coach, the penalties really added up for you guys. It seemed sort of later in the game, fourth quarter into overtime. I know that you guys are always preaching discipline, but what was it? Just not really being able to play clean down the stretch.
Yeah, I didn't mention this in my opening statement, but I do want to thank, first home game, fans at Waldo. It was a great atmosphere. Our student section was rocking. I appreciate, our family, friends, alumni, students who came out and supported us. I thought their energy, our players fed off of. It really allowed and gave us a competitive advantage against those guys early and often. So I want to thank our fans for doing that. You mentioned the penalties. Yeah, I thought I challenged our players and our staff early in the week about being physical, not being worried about making a mistake, no fear of making a mistake. And there are going to be some aggressive type penalties, some of those holding, in play penalties. If you're playing physical and you're being aggressive, there are going to be some of those things. Yes, we don't want any. We're going to clean them up from a teaching and fundamental standpoint. We can get better at those. What we can't have are pre-snap or post-snap penalties. As you saw, some of the post-snap penalties really killed us. We had one early, an unsportsmanlike. Then we had one late. Both of those were really costly penalties, which we can't have. Those are self-inflicted wounds that we'll get better from and have to grow from.
After the offense was shut out, obviously having just a much more productive day, and Brock coming in really, sort of giving you guys a spark. What did you guys feel, whether throughout this week or just in this game, that you guys were really seeing that, just really great signs moving forward to keep building on that offensive side?
Yeah, I thought there was great improvement and really great growth from week 1 to week 2 offensively. From a team, we grew from week 1 to week 2. I think you saw a lot of really good things in this football game. I mean, in the first half, I think we held their offense to 101 yards. We, really controlled and dictated the tempo. We controlled the time of possession. We had 21 minutes of time of possession. I think that they had 8 or 9. I mean, so really proud of the growth and maturity from week 1 to week 2. The thing that I saw from our offense was our offensive line. They were putting 9, 10, 11 men in the box and really trying to stop our run game, and we were still able to run the football. I thought Brock came in and moved the offense efficiently, but really proud of our offensive line. I thought that they showed that we can run the ball effectively and efficiently, and we can protect the passer. And so that was very encouraging. I think a lot of things to grow on, to get confidence from in all three phases. So I think we're going to continue to get better as we look at this film and really see the things that we can clean up because we were 1 or 2 plays away from winning this football game.
Andrew Graham, first thing I wanted to ask about was August's injury. Have you had a chance to hear about anything about that post game or what the deal is?
Yeah, I have not. They obviously carted him off. Talked to him there on the field. I tell you what, August has been phenomenal, just as a teammate, as a leader. What he's done, he's worked himself into a starting role for us. He played really well, and to go out in the first defensive play of the game was tough for him. He didn't come back in the game. Obviously, I'll talk to our doctors. I know that they were going to X-ray it. I'll get some more information by the time we get through the week and get to the press conference. I don't know the extent of it right now.
And then second, I wanted to ask about Brock played basically all of the game after the first 2 series, except for that one throw before the half. What did you see from him that gave you the confidence to leave him out there? And I guess how, not in this moment, but do you think you're maybe closer to making a full-time decision for next week?
Yeah, I thought Brock came in and did an excellent job moving our offense efficiently and being effective, in the run game and pass game. I mean, he had 2 rushing touchdowns. He had 1, passing touchdown, so he totaled for 3 touchdowns. He really gave us an opportunity to win the game. And the type of game that they put us in, they were going, 10, 11 men in the box. So Brock's strength is to be able to run the football. And with his ability to run the football, it allowed us to play 11-on-11 football to get a hat back. And so we just felt like, especially the way that Brock was playing, he gave us the best opportunity in this game to win, and that was why we continued to play him. I thought he did a great job, and we will evaluate it as we move forward. I'm not ready to make a decision right now. I don't think any of us are. I want to go back and really look and evaluate, but I do anticipate that we're going to continue to play 2 quarterbacks as we move forward. I won't commit to that. We're going to watch the tape and we'll make a decision as a staff. But I think both of those guys give us something that helped this football team.
Coach, your defense gets a stop, at the end of the game. They tie the game, North Texas does, and then you feel like you have a chance to go win it. I know you were behind the sticks, at some point in that drive, but kind of what led into that decision to kind of bleed the clock there and just go for that Hail Mary?
Yeah, I tell you what, I was excited when our defense gets a stop. Really big stop to force a field goal. That's exactly what we talked about all week, forcing those guys to be able to kick field goals, not touchdowns. And our defense did an excellent job being able to do that. Us getting the ball back with a couple of timeouts. They pooch kick it. We get the ball in great field position. They also had 2 timeouts. And when I learned this, when I was with the New York Jets with Rex Ryan, you don't ever want to give the ball back at the end of the game or the end of a half to a really good quarterback and a really good offense with time on the clock. So we wanted to make sure that the half ended or the game ended with it in our hands. So when we got behind the sticks, it became let's make sure that they call their timeouts. And then see if we could get in field goal range. Unfortunately, we had a negative yardage play. I think it was a penalty there, and we took their timeouts, and then we decided to go Hail Mary there at the end. I will evaluate that for myself. Whether we executed that situation correctly. I thought we did based on analytics and what the book told us in terms of the timeouts. We would have loved to have been able to move the ball and given Palmer a chance for a game-winning field goal. I mean, that's what you're really hoping for there. And I was excited about that opportunity. I think our players were. We just didn't execute it well enough.
And then, kind of off what Nate said, it felt like penalties kind of just, jumped in at an inopportune time. But I did see players after the game picking up each other. So I know this one stings. Like, I know this has to sting. So what do you hope your team takes away from a game like this where the emotions are high and you feel like 1 or 2 plays, the game's there for you?
Yeah, I hope our players can look in the mirror and what are the things that we need to get better at? What are the things that we can learn as we continue to grow and improve? But also I hope that they can look at it, with great self-awareness and be proud of, one, their effort, and we were 1 or 2 plays shy of winning this football game. There are no moral victories. We didn't win this game. We're not going to take it as a moral victory. Absolutely, we've got to be better, and I can be better making sure that we put our guys in a position to win there at the end, and that's on me. What I want them to do is look at the things that we can get better at, learn and grow and improve, and understand all of our goals are still on the table. We just went toe-to-toe with a really good American football team, okay, that has a great offense, an elite G5 offense, okay. They were number 3 in the country last year in offensive production. Number 3. That may be the best offense we face all year. And so we went toe-to-toe with them. We will grow and learn from this if we stay together and continue to believe and just get a little bit better.
You alluded to it earlier, but the massive difference in success between this week and last week against Michigan State in the running game, what do you think kind of led to that success?
Well, I think our players came in last week after that game and really attacked this week. I thought it was a great week of preparation. We really talked about owning our mistakes from game one. How do we improve and get better, but then having an excellent week of preparation. And we knew what type of game that this was going to be. I thought our offensive line developed a little bit of an edge today. I didn't know if we had an edge last week as we played Michigan State. I didn't know if our O-line, we've always had an edge from our offensive line standpoint, a gritty, bully mentality. I didn't know if we had that last week. This week it showed up, and I think it showed up in the week of practice and preparation, and that's what showed up in the game. So really proud of the way that they played. I also thought from a just staff standpoint, Coach Bell, our offensive staff, really put together a really good game plan to attack, to put us in position to succeed, use our strengths really well, and attack some of their weaknesses.
And then kind of the same thing as last week again with a tale of two halves. You've got one really, really successful half. This time it's the first half that's very successful. What do you think needs to change or happen for this team to start stringing together good halves more consistently and not having those drastic splits based on halftime?
Yeah, I would disagree with you. I don't think it's a tale of two halves this week. I think we played pretty well in both halves. We controlled the game and really limited their possessions, and the time of possession was in our favor. They come out and get the ball in the second half, so they were going to have more possessions in the second half, and a really good offense is going to be able to score points. We knew that. Honestly, they like operating behind because now I won't say they like operating behind, but they're used to running no huddle and tempo offense. We just have to make one or two plays down the stretch. I am proud of the way that our guys played. I think offensively and defensively, if we make one or two plays right there in the fourth quarter, we win this game. We scripted this game. It went exactly how we wanted it to go. And we made this a close game. We made this a physical game, and we had it right where we wanted. We need to make one or two more plays there at the end, and I think there's a different outcome. Coulda, shoulda, wouldas don't get you. Again, there are no moral victories. We're not going to take that. There's a lot of players in that locker room who are angry, upset, but they're going to use that pain and use it as fuel for their journey to get better as we move forward. I know I will, and I know they will because I know their hearts.
You've also mentioned every goal for this team being still in front of them. Tough non-conference schedule with Michigan State and Illinois, and then a really strong Group of 5 team in North Texas. How does that prepare you guys for MAC play coming up for the rest of the year?
I think it's a great opportunity to play. We play Michigan State. We play a great, G5 team who went to a bowl game last year. Really good offense, defense. Really well coached North Texas team. Now we get to go to Illinois. Those opportunities help you grow and learn about your team early on, and they help prepare you for the gauntlet of MAC play. We know that, in the MAC you can win or lose every single game because the parity in the league is so close. And so I think it's going to help make us a better football team as we move forward. When we come out on the other side of this.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Go Broncos.